We need to keep the focus on anti-Semitism, criminal behaviour, police investigation and the politics around it. I think we've got every right to be curious about the messaging we've heard from Labor politicians in New South Wales and Canberra and the anti-Semitism investigations. When they called a major media conference on the caravan of explosives investigation, they seemed to be very keen to downplay the anti-Semitic elements of the terror hoax.
It is apparent that the incidents being investigated by both Pearl and Kissinger were orchestrated by an organised crime element and conducted to further their own causes. This was alluded to as a possible motive early on in the investigation, but as also alluded to, investigations need to be conducted at their highest before they are diminished. None of the individuals we have arrested during Pearl have displayed any form of anti-Semitic ideology.
Now, that was a big call, especially given the horribly anti-Semitic slogans painted on vehicles and buildings during the attacks, the fact that targets were clearly Jewish organisations and areas, and the caravan terror hoax also listed Jewish targets. One of the most prominent people arrested was former Nomads bikie gang president Sayed Mohammed Musawi, and police have now identified former Sydney fugitive Sayed Erhan Akka, last seen in Turkey, as the mastermind of these attacks. And Akka has a long history of posting hateful anti-Semitic messages. As reported in The Australian, he once posted that Hitler was only washing earth. They made him out to be evil. And in 2018, he went with some Holocaust denial, saying, how did 6 million die when there were only 3.2 million registered Jews in Europe at the time? And when there was a report about swastikas being painted on cars in a Jewish community, he responded with Zig Heil. Sickening stuff. Yet despite all this, the police have been trying to assure people that these attacks and plots were more about criminal activities and criminal motivations than the ideological hatred of anti-Semitism. Excuse me for wondering what on earth they're trying to tell us. Anti-Semitic attacks are criminal. Clearly, these cases can involve both anti-Semitism and criminality. Here's Alex Rivchin from the Executive Council of Australian Jewry with Danica and James last night.
It was premature and reckless and irresponsible to rule out anti-Semitism, and I think that that's diverted the conversation from what's happening in our country, which is a crisis of anti-Semitism, which begs solutions, and it's allowed people to pursue their own agenda, to score points against their political foes.
Yeah, we need to be very wary of anyone seeking to talk down this threat or reclassify it. When a hatred is so evil and so common in some parts of the community, it's hardly surprising that it should overlap into criminal cohorts. And that should be cause for more concern rather than less.